The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. A holiday parade ended with horror yesterday in Waukesha, Wisconsin. City officials say a vehicle plowed into the parade, killing 5 people and injuring more than 40 others. NBC's Dan Scheneman has the story.
A holiday celebration brought to a sudden, terrible end.
Our community faced horror and tragedy in what should have been a community celebration.
It was late Sunday afternoon in Waukesha when the red SUV plowed through barricades and into the parade. Police tried to stop it.
An officer did discharge his weapon at the suspect vehicle to try to stop the vehicle. No bystanders were injured as a result of the weapon discharge.
Authorities then began to treat and transport victims.
A total of 11 adults and 12 pediatric patients to 6 area hospitals. We do not have any specifics on the injuries at this time. All of the patients were transported. There were some fatalities.
The scene is now secure. A person of interest is in custody. The investigation described as very fluid and ongoing. Dan Scheneman, NBC News.
5:04 is our time now, and now to a local rescue mission caught on camera. Firefighters were called to rescue a man from a rocky hillside in the Kern River Canyon yesterday. It happened at the lower Rich Bar Day area along Highway 178 just after 2 o'clock yesterday. A CHP officer said a man was at the campground with the family when he tried climbing the hillside. He lost his footing, fell, and could not get back down. Kern County Fire Department rescue helicopter team was needed to hoist the man up and off the hillside. He did not appear seriously hurt and was seen driving away after the rescue.
Police are investigating after one person died when a car fell into a canal in northwest Bakersfield. Emergency crews were called to the area of Fruitvale Avenue near Snow Road for a vehicle in the Beardsley Canal around 8 Saturday morning. At least one person was found dead. No other information has been released. And CHP is investigating a deadly crash on Highway 58 just west of General Beale Road. It happened Saturday night just after 10. CHP reports a sedan crashed head-on into a semi. No word on what led up to that crash.
An update now on a story we first brought to you on Sunrise Friday morning. Police confirm the man arrested during a standoff in East Bakersfield for a Tulare County murder is a former BC student activist. BPD arrested 24-year-old Jose Omar Bello Reyes and 38-year-old Henry Venegas on Monterey Street near Alta Vista Drive last Thursday. BPD says during the arrest, Bello tried to evade police and a canine was set loose. He was taken to a hospital and is in custody of the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. Bello is a former student activist who was arrested by ICE just 36 hours after reading a poem before the Board of Supervisors, criticizing ICE in 2019. Detectives believe Bello, along with 2 other men, killed a man from Washington who was in Tulare to pick up a large amount of drugs. Venegas, who was also arrested, had an unrelated warrant for attempted murder and robbery.
In your 17 Court Watch this morning, a local teacher's aide arrested on suspicion of possessing child pornography will make his first appearance in court today. Police say 28-year-old Matthew Cornejo was arrested last week as part of an ongoing investigation involving internet crimes against children. Cornejo works for Old River Elementary School in the Panama Buena Vista Union School District. No children from the school or in Bakersfield were identified as victims. Cornejo is on administrative leave pending law enforcement's investigation.
Also due in court today, a woman police say is responsible for a deadly shooting. It happened around 6 o'clock Thursday night on Latham Street near Dennis Court, right next to Walter W. Stern Middle School in East Bakersfield. A man was shot and taken to the hospital where he later died. His name has not been released. Police arrested 30-year-old Connie Alvarado Romero in connection with the shooting. She's due in court later today.
And now to an update on one of our signature issues here at TV17, pedestrian safety. California Highway Patrol arrested one person after a deadly hit-and-run crash in Rosamond. The crash happened on July 17th. 73-year-old Victor Vilcapimoa Zaga was hit by two cars while walking across the street near Matthew Avenue and 20th Street West. CHP says the first car sped off after the crash, but the second vehicle stopped. Law enforcement has not identified the person they arrested.
Now to some breaking news from overnight. At least one person was hurt in a major crash in South Bakersfield. It happened on Ming Avenue and Fremont Street just after 9:30 last night. In video sent to our newsroom, a car could be seen on top of two other cars as first responders treated one of the people involved. At least one person was seen being taken away by ambulance. No word yet on what caused the crash.
Thanksgiving is just 3 days away, and with COVID cases already rising in some parts of the country, the nation's health officials worry about another holiday surge. They're urging people already vaccinated to get booster shots and the unvaccinated to roll up their sleeves too.
Get it before Thanksgiving. Make sure that when you sit down at that Thanksgiving table with the people you love, you have the highest level of immunity to protect them.
New cases are up 50% since late October. The rise in cases comes ahead of today's deadline for federal workers to be vaccinated. The number of daily vaccinations in the U.S. has nearly doubled in the past month, but more than 60 million Americans still remain unvaccinated. Dr. Anthony Fauci says those who are should enjoy a traditional Thanksgiving celebration.
If you're vaccinated, and hopefully you'll be boosted too, and your family is, you can enjoy a typical Thanksgiving meal, Thanksgiving holiday with your family. There's no reason not to do that.
Low immunization rates in the TSA has fueled fears there will be a shortage of security screeners this week at the nation's airports. But Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says that those fears are unfounded.
There is good news this morning as we head into the holiday season here in Kern County. Coronavirus cases continue to decline in Kern ahead of the holidays, although we're still learning the deadly toll the third surge had on our county. On Friday, Public Health reported another 333 people have been infected with the virus. 12 new deaths were reported. The situation in our hospitals, however, continues to improve. Yesterday, state data showed 155 people were in the hospital with more severe symptoms of COVID-19. 37 more were in the ICU. Now here's a look back at last week's numbers. Public Health learned the virus has stolen 30 lives. We also learned 1,770 more people have been infected with the virus. Now, data from Kern Public Health continues to show the coronavirus is targeting those who have not taken a vaccine. 4,200 vaccinated Kern residents have reportedly caught the virus. Compare that to the unvaccinated population with more than 58,000 infections. Public Health says more than 93% of people catching the virus and going to the hospital in Kern are unvaccinated.
The FDA last week approved the Pfizer and Moderna booster shots for all adults. This news comes at a time when thousands of upset parents and teachers across California are protesting the governor's vaccine mandate in schools. 17's Marco Torres has a closer look.
The California vaccine mandate in schools has spurred debate all across the state. And even here in Kern County, we've seen our fair share of parents and teachers protest the mandate. Protests have ranged from school board meetings to the mayor's office to the county's superintendent of schools.
I don't think we should be mandating it for every student in the state yet. I think it should be up to the parents to make that decision.
KCSOS says there would be an opt-out option for parents, but this could go away if legislature enforces the mandate. School boards are responsible for enforcing Governor Newsom's vaccine mandate. If school board members and administrators defy the mandate, they could be fined or even face time behind bars. Some parents say educators should be willing to submit to those consequences, even if it means going to jail.
You put yourself in a leadership position, you have to know that there's going to be consequences if you make a choice that other people don't like, and that's just the position of a leader.
Now, not all of the people at the protests oppose the mandate.
Think about the situation and where you might be left in a hospital wondering if a vaccine could have saved your life. I had my boys vaccinated a couple of weeks ago and they're fine. Nothing happened. You know what? And I feel a lot more secure now that my family is just a little bit safer.
Protesters say they will continue to go against the mandate. In Bakersfield, Marco Torres, 17 News.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
5:39 is our time now, and in Georgia, closing arguments are set to begin today in the closely watched trial of 3 men accused of taking the life of Ahmaud Arbery. During cross-examination last week, prosecutors spent hours challenging Travis McMichael's insistence that he, his father, Gregory, and neighbor William Bryan tried to detain Arbery until police could arrive because they suspected he was involved in a string of local robberies. McMichael testified that at one point, Arbery attacked Bryan's pickup truck and that he acted in self-defense, fearing he and his father would be next.
So you're telling this jury that a man who has spent 5 minutes running away from you, you're now thinking is somehow going to want to continue to engage with you, someone with a shotgun, and your father, a man who's just said, stop or I'll blow your head off, by trying to get in their truck?
That's what it shows, yes ma'am.
Just as testimony was ending on Friday, hundreds converged on the courthouse, including black pastors. They're in response to the defense team's repeated attempts to limit the number of clergy Arbery's family could invite into the court, suggesting it could bias the jury.
2 missionaries who were taken hostage in Haiti last month have been released. Members of a gang called 400 Mawazo are believed to have taken 16 Americans and 1 Canadian hostage in October. The 17 people, which included 5 children, were taken hostage after visiting an orphanage. In a statement, Ohio-based Christian Aid Ministry says that the 2 hostages are, quote, safe and in good spirits and being cared for. The group said while they are pleased that the 2 hostages have been released, their hearts are still with the 15 others who are still being held captive.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.